one significant action and one insignificant action.
The insignificant action is one of the insignificant action is positioning yourself on the
I think that's your full move, to use the discipline and to get yourself where you want exactly. So
the point that is really not clarified in the text is the use of multiple disciplines at once, which I believe is something that is very similar to the idea of champions now, the idea of using multiple, bricks at once, if it makes sense that your power works with these multiple bricks, without like the savage frenzy.
Right. Without, let's reserve that question. For one thing, people misread that rule in Champions now constantly.
Okay.
So there's a rabbit hole waiting there in this discussion. So let's not go there.
Okay.
Right now, however, this is also irrelevant because only one discipline was used. So we're getting tempted by rules talk. Let's not get tempted into, the rules will do this if you did that, but you didn't do it. So let's not do that. So the next is the two stalkers who have the same initiative, and we can go in whatever order we want, I think.
The thing that the manual says is that you sort your turn by comparing your insight.
Mm-hmm.
So the one with the highest insights goes first. And if you don't have if you're still on tie, you sort this out with a die roll. But right now we can just use the insight and see.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So
for fuck's sake.
I know, but we're not opposed to each other. We're not fighting.
Yeah.
So does it really matter? I mean, whoever wants to go first, right?
Because I still think that the order is fixed, and so you can just hold your action, which is something that you really can do. And I'm still getting confused by why telling me the idea of if stalkers are on a tie, that's how you break it. You can break it whenever.
Rules texts are often obsessed with ties and have very long subroutines for resolving ties as if they were critical, a crisis of play. In this instance, our goals are not opposed. It doesn't matter, right? So,
You're
do you have an attack you want to do, or do you want to do something else, which could be pretty cool too?
Yeah. Okay. I would like to evoke martyrs to protect ourselves. That's it, and particularly if. So, if you don't mind, I go first. Okay.
Of course, remember that this is. Have you mastered the martyrs?
Yeah, I do.
So it is not
claymores and martyrs.
Nice. And so you don't spend your point of vitality, but remember that since you're doing this on the spot, it is an art difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll try.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So you need to 15.
Okay, I have 6 of presence, so fingers crossed.
And remember the evoking skill, of course.
So, okay. So,
just a moment to appreciate how wonderful it is that...
okay, I use a karma point. Yeah, okay, I use a karma points from 5 to 4. And I roll again, because otherwise I have an 8. Oh no.
Oh well.
Doesn't go well because I have 8 plus 4, 12.
Okay. All right.
That's how we describe this failure. And as you try to lift the veil for these things to come, but it opposes you actively, and it's kind of like you're phasing out of the realm of flesh before you just act like exhausted by this effort, this mighty effort. Okay. And then, of course, that's it.
All right, let's try. I don't know if I'm going to get as good an attack roll this time. I only have 4 dice. So let's see how I do. This combat may ultimately end up being more of a Lilith thing than either of us. So let's see here. Coming in with another rend.
Okay.
And it's not going to be so great. I only get an 8, and I cannot afford the karma for a reroll. So we are heroically attempting to strike it, but not very successfully.
Yeah. So it is time for another round.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right.
And of course, we need to re-roll your dexterity for the initiative.
Right.
Got 6.
I have a 5.
Okay.
Rolling now. Dexterity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I got a 12.
Okay. And then, of course, the unbeaten is 16. So it starts again. And, okay. The first thing that the unbeaten does is kind of like escaping your distance attacks by breaking into the apartment. And you can even hear screams on the inside as someone has been, of course, been surprised by this intrusion, and a moment later you can hear another sound, the wall being turned off by this thing that is kind of like directing towards the Lilith. And from your point of view, as you're kind of reaching for the unbeaten by using the stairs, you can see that the unbeaten is breaking a wall, and then he lunges at you, swiping his tentacles and trying to attack you with this kind of improvised spiked weapons. And so the attack of the unbeaten is a fixed 15, and it's a double attack. And you need to roll for your evade, which I suppose is a dexterity roll.
It's a defend, yes.
Oh, it's a defense, yes.
Then am I going to roll twice, Adriana, since it's 2 separate attacks?
Yes. I feel that is this way. Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah. Because your defense roll is its resolution roll.
Yeah. And this we're standing in kind of an
It's
apartment.
kind of like you know, when the it's a very strict space. I didn't feel about it. I didn't think about it. Maybe a modifier for the space, because it's very difficult to avoid the spikes. Like you're in the on the second floor just before entering the apartments, and it's a kind of narrow.
Yeah, it positioned itself against you too.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys are
So
doing
yeah,
it.
let's use even let's see, a -2.
okay, so roll again dexterity, right, for the defense.
No, not for us.
It's
Not for
not
us.
you.
He's fighting Lilith.
It entered
Okay,
the
yeah.
apartment and is avoiding your
They
attacks.
they got away from us
Okay,
for range. Now they're fighting.
It wasn't clear to me whether it was an area effect or not, but he's targeting on the.
So
Lilith.
this is Thorn and Claw right now, face to face.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got 4 on the first evade and
Uh-oh.
then 9 on the second, so I believe those both hit.
Yeah.
All right.
And so it hits you with both attacks. And they do 6 damage each. 6 dices for rolling.
Okay.
2, 4, 6. The first one is 2, 3, 4, 5. This. Okay, 12 and 12 and 19.
Ooh.
Right. So that is 5 total. Not even halfway through my vitality.
Yeah.
I
So
love it.
basically-
So
Yeah.
an instant ago, I reappeared in this window. And then now this thing has slammed me.
Right.
Right, just charged in and like slammed me against this wall. Probably leaving probably a Lilith-shaped imprint.
I think the place has
wall.
been painted with your blood, but doesn't stop Lilith. Yeah.
Blood and thorns. So the idea is that you kind of look like a martyr. Like Lilith is kind of looking like the ideal victim of this beast.
Mm-hmm.
The more he keeps fighting.
Love that.
Interesting. Okay. So, that leaves that means the witch is next.
Yeah, okay. I try again to evoke my martyrs so that they can protect Lilith in melee.
Okay, remember that if you want, you can hold your action and then trying to evoke your martyrs. And if you act on your subsequent round, the difficulty lowers. If you want to,
In other words,
keep
delay
acting-
one round. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
delay
I
one
can-
round and it lowers the difficulty.
Okay, I'll delay one round.
So you're just
So-
preparing in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good because
Okay,
it's especially after the first failure, that makes sense. Okay, so because of its motion, it's no longer in my line of sight, I think. So therefore, I can't go and I can't hit it with rend. So therefore, I too I'm trying to be clever, and that's probably a bad idea. No, the only thing I can think of to do actually is very mundane. I will simply run to get to join the fight in the apartment.
Yeah,
I simply will
that's
run
okay.
to the hole get up there, run arounds to the balcony perhaps, right? Because I was high, it was high. Maybe getting there through the balconies isn't too hard, and I will get as close as I can to the entrance.
Yeah.
But
So you want to jump from a balcony to another to try to reach or to be faster and to reach Lilith,
Sure.
or you want to just follow the safe route?
Well, that's a good question. Let's see, that would probably be a dexterity roll of some kind.
Yeah. I was thinking about it.
Yeah. Why not? Let's make it a dexterity roll to try and get there. If it goes
Okay.
badly, can't be any worse than it is now. So, right.
So I was thinking about an art dexterity roll.
Yeah, I'm not so good at dexterity, so that's probably a bad idea. You know what? That is a really bad idea. I am not going to do that. I am going to go relatively safely. There's no point in me just going splat on the pavement below.
Yeah, so I was thinking about the thing that Azure just lowers from the balcony, just following the safe route that he used to climb in the first place.
Mhm.
So he wasted some time,
Right.
but on the other end, he doesn't risk any of his limbs, and
That's fine.
we
take
can
my
see
time.
them
Mhm.
like the moment before he's opening the door. that leads to the complex of the apartments where Lilith and Beast are fighting, and then we just stop
Sure.
right there.
Yeah. Okay.
The moment you just stop.
Okay.
Yeah, then we re-roll the
Well,
dexterity rolls.
we are coming up on 2 hours, so we should probably stop here if we're at a transition at a round.
Yes.
And I-
Is that all right?
Okay, perhaps Adriano, write down the status of the fight so that we can pick up exactly from this
I'm
moment.
keeping track of the bidden, and of course you're keeping track of your vitality points. So
And we'll remember that you had just delayed your evocation,
yes,
so that you will be well prepared for
let's-
the next time. Yeah.
Lilith has an action still in the round, so we can pick up with that next time. Or
Say that again.
Yeah,
Say that.
Oh,
again.
really?
I still have I still have an action.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because Ron, you and I were going on 6.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, let's do it right
I'm
now.
sorry.
Let's finish
Of
this
course.
round. Go for it.
Yeah, no worries. I'm just gonna make an attack roll here. I've got 10.
Okay, the difficulty is 15, and the unbeaten is subject to the same hindrance of you. It can move freely to avoid the attacks, but you still need a 13, and so it doesn't work unless you want to spend some karma.
No, I'm gonna save the karma.
Yeah.
So yeah, this
okay.
is. I'm imagining, Lilith is kind of trapped against this wall while this thing is just wailing on her.
And since he doesn't have a real, he's very flexible. So the moment you just swing your clothes, he just moves in unnerving and unfettering ways
Nice.
to avoid your attacks. Okay. To be honest, the amount of bookkeeping or keeping tracks of initiative and etc. is much more. I would say that I was scared that this would end up being stalled by. I need to recall this thing and this thing and this thing, but the moment you just have the pair of rounds, you feel that it gets easier.
Compared to a
Let's
lot
say
of
that it
games I know, this is medium attention required for that. But I think it's worth it because of it focuses on chaos. You don't know what the order is going to be from round to round. You don't know, and it has a very champion's influence that the precise details of where you have been slammed or what gets set on fire or any number of other things, those precise details are going to matter each time. So every round there's no predicting a fight. So
yeah, it's a thing that I love, the predictability of the rounds, because it adds quite well the chaos on a fight. Like Troika, another game I love, because basically you pick up tokens with the order from a bag or a bowl.
Right.
You never knows what happens, and perhaps an enemy can attack you twice in a round, and then the round ends suddenly, and you start over again. So, because, well, let's say a fight in any RPGs or even reality is a massive thing.
Exactly.
You never knows which is your position is. You never knows whether you have kept in account all the factors, so perhaps there is an ambush and so on.
Yeah, I agree. Well, everybody,
I feel that,
guys, again, I'm on a time constraint, and I did get an emergency call
absolutely.
from a kid, so I do have to go.
No, absolutely. Go. Perhaps we comment on the at that play later.
Absolutely.
Have a good day.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.